Hey everybody, Happy New Year. I wanted to just go over a little bit of a wrap up for 2023, being that I've been on the carnivore diet for over 9 months now. I started on March 25th of 2023, so Christmas Day, oddly enough, was my 9-month carniversary, if you will. So I just want to go over some benefits. First off, benefits, weight loss, and then also energy and how I feel. I've got some notes down here just to keep myself on track. But being carnivore for the last 9 months has been fantastic. I've reversed my prediabetes. I was just a little bit into being pre-diabetic, and within the first 2 months, I reversed that, and I have that via blood work that I had taken before starting carnivore, and then also I had it duplicated 2 months in. That was an agreement my doctor and I came up with to try this, and he wasn't a fan of this, so I knew for his sake and my own that I just wanted to ease into it and make sure that I wasn't doing anything wrong. And the blood work showed 2 months in of being hardcore carnivore, there were no issues. Everything looked great. Some other improvements that I had, my sleep has improved a tremendous amount. My snoring is almost gone. My sleep apnea, I think I'm very close to not needing my CPAP machine anymore. That has improved greatly. The numbers on the machine have dropped to 1, 2, 3. For anybody who's familiar with a CPAP machine, those numbers are what you strive for. Anything under 5 is great. And again, for those who don't know or haven't seen some of the other videos, my score on my sleep study was 88. And severe sleep apnea starts at 30. So it has been fantastic for my sleep apnea. Another huge benefit has been breathing. And I know that kind of all goes together, but since I was a teenager, I have not been able to breathe through my nose other than maybe, I would say 20% of the time. Most of the time I had to breathe through my mouth. That's not the case anymore. It is the exact opposite. It's probably 80% I can breathe through my nose now, and somewhere around 20%, my nose will get stuffy, usually at night. But it has completely reversed just being carnivore. And there are so many other benefits that have just completely switched. Now, I know a lot of people want to know about weight loss, so let me not put that off anymore. As of Christmas Eve, I was down from my heaviest weight of all time, 90 pounds. On carnivore, that translates to just under 60 pounds in 9 months eating carnivore, primarily carnivore. I by no means was perfect with carnivore. We've had celebrations, birthday celebrations, and just at other times where I have knowingly gone off carnivore. I'm not, in my mind, I'm not going to skip birthday cake and special occasions. I'm the only one in my household that needs to do carnivore, at least at this level. My wife and kids are healthy, normal weight. I'm the only one that has some health issues, and I'm the only one that's overweight. So I'm still working on that. I'm only about halfway through my weight loss journey. I still have probably another somewhere between 70 and 80 pounds to lose, and I'm hoping to do that in the first 6 months of 2024. I'm going to push a little bit harder. Now that I have things a bit more figured out, I'm going to be able to push a little bit harder. I've also incorporated in the last few months doing a 48-hour fast once a week, and that has helped tremendously. I feel so much better, even better than just doing carnivore on its own. It really just seems to be a little bit of a restart when I do that every week, and it has been a fantastic addition to eating carnivore. And it's usually somewhere around 44 to 48 hours. I quite often I'll eat, let's say on a Monday, I'll just skip Tuesday, and then I'll eat on Wednesday, midday, or something like that. Whatever day of the week, that particular week will work best for me with my schedule. So that has been absolutely fantastic. Then as far as how I feel and energy, it is absolutely incredible. I feel and have felt from the first few weeks being on carnivore amazing. So many other things went away. Gas and bathroom habits literally improved the first 48 hours. The first 2 days, 3 days were a major change. So not having that feeling in the morning and throughout the day, that's just one of those other things that have been absolutely incredible with carnivore. You feel so much better about yourself. You feel like you're in control. I truly feel that this is the first time in 20 plus years that I am in control of what I eat, how much I eat, and how I feel more than any other diet, because every other diet was just that. It was a temporary diet. And while you have some success eating that way, this is a diet as in a dietary change. And this has been absolutely fantastic. I have no complaints at all. I don't find this to be a restrictive diet at all. You can have so many different foods. It's not just steak. You can have any form of beef from different animals, chicken, seafood, pork, just about anything. Anything that you would order at a restaurant, if you're an omnivore, you can order at a restaurant. Just skip the potatoes and mostly skip the veg. I will have a salad from time to time, mostly if we make it at home, but I do not feel restricted at all. It's fantastic having bacon and eggs just about every morning, and then having beef or a steak, or sometimes it's pork or chicken, or one of my favorites has been having a steak with some shrimp or another fish or with salmon. It has been absolutely incredible. Another point that I'd like to make is about energy. Energy on the standard American diet is so up and down. I have peaks and valleys, and that has literally gone away. The energy now eating a carnivore diet is so consistent and so even. To give an example, when I used to drive about 3 hours from where sometimes I'd come in on a plane and I'd have to go home, basically it was about a 3-hour drive. And I would plan for that. I would get a large cup of coffee and something from Dunkin' Donuts, both of those from Dunkin' Donuts, to get through that 3-hour drive, because I didn't want to start dozing off or having to stop every 20, 30 minutes to stay awake. That's to the point that I was at when energy-wise, being on the standard American diet. Literally having coffee, having a few those, I don't remember what they call them, munchkins or the donut holes that Dunkin' Donuts has. I would have about 10 of those. I'd have 1 or 2, have some coffee, have half an hour later, have some more. The very first time I had to do a longer drive on carnivore, that wasn't an issue anymore. I can be fine energy-wise throughout the entire day. Even if I have to skip a meal because my schedule won't allow me to have a typical lunch or a lunch break, that's fine. It's no big deal at all. And to contrast that now that I'm cycling and biking a bit, and by the way, I know I mentioned a few videos ago I was going to start doing some bike riding videos and get into that a little bit. The weather here in Florida actually has been quite cool since Thanksgiving. It's been in the 40s, which I know for a lot of the country and a lot of the world right now, that's not so bad. But here in Florida, the 40s and low 50s are pretty cold for me, and I really don't have the riding gear for it. So I haven't been riding nearly as much. But not too long ago, I did a bike ride where even at 270 pounds, which is where I am right now, I was able to do a 60-mile bike ride, and energy was not an issue. I would ride basically about 10 miles, take a few minute break. I got to my destination, which was at 30 miles. I stopped there. I had a little something to eat. I had literally some liverwurst. I had some eggs, and I had some string cheese, some of the mozzarella string cheese. That's what I brought with me. Energy was not an issue. And I rode the 30 miles back home, and it took a while because my bike is heavy and it's not exactly a road bike, but energy was never an issue. And I was on the bike, or out, I should say, for about 8 hours, 9 hours. You would think that because you're riding a bike 60 miles, that you would need carbs or some form of carbs or sugar as energy. None of that. The only thing I brought with me was the food that I just mentioned and electrolytes in my water. I had 3 bottles of water on the bike. I drank those 3, refilled them, and had 3 more. And I think 2 of the bottles had the electrolytes, 1 didn't. That's kind of the formula that I tried. This was the first time. So I had the element electrolytes in my water, and energy was not an issue. It was a great ride. I had a nice day. Weather was perfect. I couldn't have asked for any more. So overall, carnivore for the last 9 months has been fantastic. There have been no health issues. There have been no other issues. I just had some blood work done. I don't know exactly what my doctor ordered for me. When I do get that, if there's anything in there, I will share that. I didn't think to look at the paperwork before I handed it in to the lab technician to see what he had ordered. But I assume it's going to be similar to what I had done when the first month or before I started carnivore, and then 2 months in, we'll see. But when I have that, good or bad, I will share it. And hopefully I'll have that towards the end of this month. My appointment with him isn't till the 20-something, I think, like that. So once I have that appointment, I'll share those numbers with you. But again, nearly 60 pounds of weight loss on carnivore, feeling great, sleeping great, so much energy, and just could not be happier. So if you're thinking about carnivore, look into it. Do your own research. Look into Dr. Ken Berry, Dr. Baker, Dr. Chafee. Follow or look into Laura Spath and her husband, Dante at Ferrigno Freedom. There are so many out there that have experienced incredible health benefits and weight loss, and that have been doing this for years. Another one is Kelly Hogan. Kelly Hogan, I think, is going on her 15th year for carnivore. So this is not some fad. This is not some spooky, wild, crazy, out there way of eating. This is probably the healthiest way I've eaten in my life, where I feel this good. And I'm 57, so I'm not that young. I feel like I'm in my 20s compared to the way I felt a year ago when I was praying for an answer to my health and weight loss issues that I had. I have no regrets whatsoever. If you're thinking about the carnivore diet or keto for 2024, I don't think you should hesitate. Do your own research. Obviously, I'm not your doctor. I'm not a doctor at all. Look it up. Find places on YouTube, do your research, and start carnivore. Once again, Happy New Year. God bless. We'll see you in the next one.